Logic can be boring. I do what I feel. These are the words of legendary action director Jon Gun-Fu Woo. Here at HawkSchlock, we definitely, just like John Boy Woo, we know what he's talking about, because logic is definitely boring. And we review what we feel, like, for instance, how do I feel when I hear friends of mine, film fans even, talking about John Woo, saying he's not a good director? They haven't even seen any of his pre-American work. I don't know what to think about that. Did they not watch the Van Damme-ocalypse? Did they not see my 5 Winona review of action schlock masterpiece with Van Damme the man himself, Hard Target? What should I do? What can I do? Well, I know what I should do. I should go to Hollywood. And really what I mean is HollyWOO. Yes, I must schlock him. I must once again HawkSchlock John Woo. What, you were expecting someone else? No, I'm not doing Face Off. Everybody loves Face Off. Everybody knows Face Off is awesome. I'm gonna go to HollyWOO, but first, I'm gonna go back in time a little bit to his last film before he left for HollyWOO. Yes, going all in for a little Hard Boiled. Now this was John Woo's last film before coming to America. Now I've already covered his first US film, and it was the first major US film to be helmed by any Asian whatsoever, but you know I'm talking about, Hard Target with Van Damme the man, and I covered that during the Van Damme-ocalypse. But this is one of Woo's most personal films. First off, it was something where Woo was really trying to say something about how he felt about Hong Kong and where it was headed at the time. And then also, halfway through production, the screenwriter, Barry Wong, he passed away and the script wasn't even complete yet. So Woo and company not only had to navigate through their, grief of losing their friend, but now they had to go back to his treatments and try and finish the script, as well as finish the production, which was a lengthy one. Now we open up with some shallow depth of field porn of a drink being poured as live music starts up in a jazz club. We got a nice superimposed filled montage of city streets, neon, and jazz players, including Chow Yun-fat. He's a cop and a musician, because basically John Woo loves jazz and he was tired of people telling him to not put jazz in his movies. And then we're at a tea house, and you can just tell this is going to be one little boring little character study flick. Chow Yun-fat is playing a guy named Tequila with a toothpick in his mouth. He's got birds in cages, which is still better than kids in cages, I say. We got a large group of seemingly scumbags, and they're comparing who's got the higher score on Angry Birds Gun-Fu edition. And we have some mirror shots and some reflections, all building up suspense and tension because, let's face it, John Woo loves Hitchcock and owes him some patents. And then of course it's a tea house, so we got some boiled tea. But this is no Carl Y. Wong flick, as beautiful as they are. No, it's a John Woo flick. So all hell's gonna break loose. The guns come out, and those dead bodies start piling up quicker than those Nevada votes. Now I know why The Caged Bird Sings is a book, but I know why Detective Tequila Sunrise Chow Yun-fat carries his caged bird, because he's got an armory stash inside there. Suck it, El Mariachi, in your guitar case. Now Tequila Sunrise, he's going full gun-fu in a mix of regular and slow motion, because copyright John Woo. And now this tea house was actually a little bit of a historical location, and it was slated for demolition, and Woo wanted to claim it for celluloid posterity. And there's no better way to honor a building's history than shooting the crap out of it. And I just don't mean with the cameras, I mean with all the guns. Now anything and everything is getting shot up, from bad guys to bird cages to teapots to stacks of receipts and papers. Now Karen might not want to see a manager about her tea being hard-boiled, but she is going to want to see an undertaker about those bullet hole wounds. Now Toothpick Tequila, his partner's wounded, and the bad guys, they're trying to make a run for it, but Toothpick Tequila, he's going full Kevin McAllister, surfing down the staircase. And he's Gun-Fu Doc Holliday. He's got 2 guns, no, not one for each of you. 2 for every person he's trying to shoot at. Now Woo has said he never uses storyboards for his Hong Kong flicks. They were just pure in-the-moment improvisations, talking and walking things through with the actors and the crew. He also said that people passing by during that sequence, because there's windows, would call the cops on him while filming, but the cops were, guess what? Fans of John Woo's films. Nice try trying to defund a John Woo flick. But anyhow, this leads us to the back area of the tea house. We got chickens in the kitchen, and I don't mean the bad guys, we're talking literal chickens. Woo's unleashing all sorts of feathered friends here in this flick, not just those copyrighted Woo doves. Cue the dinner is ready, Gun-Fu fireworks. We got that patented mix of real-time and slow motion, like, Sam Peckinpah and a couple of bumps of cocaine. Speaking of that, is it cocaine or flour in the kitchen? Only the autopsy knows for sure. Toothpick Tequila, he's going over a table covered in it, and now he's looking like Marv from Home Alone, all dressed like a chicken. But he decides to skin that chicken, though, as he finishes off the bad guy for his Chinese opera costume chaser. Now, right in line with all this, Tequila's captain is pissed. Not so much that Chow off the bad guy in cold blood, but that one of them was a deep undercover agent. And now, remember, dead people can't testify, they can only vote in elections. As the pissed off captain says to Tequila, give a guy a gun, he thinks he's Superman. Give him two, and he thinks he's God. Actually, give him two, and you think he's John Woo. And then we got a Hitchcockian cameo of sorts from John Woo, who shows up in a couple of different scenes. He's talking about how hard things are going to get for Tequila. He says it enough that I'm just waiting for Woo to be like, hey, you should listen to that show, Talk Hard. But then again, Christian Slater wouldn't show up in a HollyWOO film until Broken Arrow a couple years later, so we're not going to get up that pump up the volume tie-in. But we do meet Alan now. He's played by Tony Leung, and he's deep undercover for a crime syndicate, and he's apparently even deeper into some sort of mid-youth crisis. He is racing around in a hot red sports car like a middle-aged man who just left his wife for his short-skirted secretary. Or as we call it in America, you know, he's compensating for something. Now, Alan meets somebody in the library, and he's obviously pissed that this dude isn't respecting the no-talking rule, and he's silencing him for good. They really take this undercover thing way more seriously in Hong Kong than America, I feel like. Now, Toothpick Tequila, he's investigating this apparent murder, and suddenly he's like Will Graham from Red Dragon. He's walking up and down, and he's envisioning the killer's every step, and obviously there's simpatico in their reading habits because it leads them right to a shelf with a collective works of Shakespeare. And when I say complete works, I mean it is complete with handgun and silencer. And people say print is dead, but you'll only be dead if you read this limited edition, blood-soaked specialty spine. Cue the freeze frame on Toothpick Tequila into a dissolve because copyright John Woo. Are you somewhere feeling lonely or someone loving you? These are the words from Lionel Richie's Hello, and they're not just for a meme anymore. Now you have half the police station singing them as we find that the song lyrics on these flower cards are actually code for our undercover agent to get word to the captain. I don't know about you, but I feel like Toothpick Tequila and Undercover Alan, their worlds are going to be colliding awfully soon. Action Screenwriting 101. Now, Joseph might have had his Technicolor dream coat, but here we have arms dealer Johnny Wang Wong, and he one-ups Joseph by wearing a different colored sport coat in every scene he can. I actually think Johnny Wong's entire criminal enterprise is built around the idea that he just wants to buy more sports coats. Now, Johnny has a bit of a professional crush on Alan. You've got the Midas touch, says Alan. Well, can I also have you, Johnny retorts? And you can cut the homoerotic sexual tension with those sharp sunnies that a dangerous-looking fella at the bar is wearing, staring him down. This man is a Bond-worthy henchman villain named Mad Dog, a character that was actually created during filming for the stunt actor solely because they basically wanted a bigger, better baddie to go up against Toothpick Tequila and Undercover Alan. And cue some fishing footage porn as Tequila decides to reel a couple in before going in and getting yelled at by his captain. And you know it's serious in a Hong Kong movie when your captain starts yelling at you F-bombs in English. No subtitles required, but now, screw all that crap, we have the Machine Gun Motorcycle Diaries as Johnny Wong and Alan, they're about to take out a warehouse full of guns. They're delivering more bullet points than your manager's terrible PowerPoint presentation about how to do Zoom meetings earlier on during this COVID crisis. And at one point, a guy is standing in front of the Connex unit, in front of a bunch of boxes, when one of these motorcycles launches up a ramp and crashes right into him. And you thought your career had you boxed in. Now, there's loads of barrels all around, so of course, that means there's going to be loads of slow motion of explosions. Mad Dog, he's going full action cliche. He's biting the pins out of some grenades before dropping them off for some extras to enjoy a little slow motion warehouse fireworks. I'm sorry to tell you, but your Prime Day deliveries won't be happening if they're being shipped from this warehouse. And you thought Mad Dog was a smoking cool villain before? Well, he can't find a blowtorch, so he just goes over to where some flames are left over from an explosion, bends down, and lights his cigarette. Alan's former crime boss, Uncle Joey, shows up for his retirement ceremony. You know, sometimes you retire and you get a watch, maybe a set of gold golf clubs. But Uncle Joey, he gets shot through the heart just for his new pal, Johnny Wong. Undercover Alan's all, taste the rainbow, to his old mob boss. No recount needed on this decision. And then some smoke bombs go off, and we got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Toothpick Tequila. He comes flying in from the rooftop rafters on a rope like an Asian vigilante sting, here to slay the NWO. Johnny Wang Wong, he doesn't have time to say where does he get all those wonderful toys. As Tequila, he's mowing down bad guys left and right with his automatic machine gun. Holy crap, let's have a HawkSchlock Surgeon General's warning. Do not watch this film near your significant other if you don't want to worry about them getting pregnant. Now at this point, Tequila has the biggest shotgun you've ever seen, and he's blowing bad guys in half, and Tequila at one point actually leaps and flies into the air like a slow motion super cop Man of Steel. and either he has exploding rounds or just happens to be everything he shoots explodes. Either way, it's awesome, and it's worthy of another trip to the pants store. After watching this scene, Tequila and Undercover Alan, they end up in a haze of smoke together, guns pointing at each other, and then click. Tequila's out of bullets, and Alan? He just smiles and disappears into the smoke. It seems that these two are starting to figure each other out. Anyhow, now Tequila and Alan, they gotta get to know each other only to get attacked by some enemies of Johnny Wang Wong. Now, shotguns are no match for these two together, though Alan does get shot and he does need to go to the hospital. Johnny Wong figures it was a cop informant named Foxy Not Lady who ratted them out to Tequila. Smoking kills, but cigarette lighters save lives as Alan hides his on informant Foxy Not So Lady. Alan fires and shot in the heart, but ain't it great. That bullet deflects, that cigarette lighter, it don't break. As Foxy takes Alan's bullet to his chest and falls over the bridge into a river below as a chaser. Foxy Not Lady's in the hospital now, and he reveals that actually Johnny Wang Wong's whole operation is operating out of this same medical building. I just gotta ask, what is it with guns being hidden in boxes of roses? You have it here. Terminator 2 did it just a year prior. It was done in Kubrick's The Killing, the Pacino flick, Dog Day Afternoon. All I know is when I give a lady a box of roses, I too am expecting a little action and explosion, but it never quite delivers like these action flicks do. Now, this whole hospital sequence took 40 of the 123 production days to film this. Those 40 days give us 40 minutes on screen of pure action awesomeness. It was filmed at what was an old Coca-Cola bottling plant. I guarantee you that this action sequence is better than any of the diabetes that Coke will give you. But let me just tell you now, go ahead and get a whole new wardrobe of pants in preparation for everything that's about to happen. It's gonna be like that time you were a teenager and you rented Cruel Intentions and saw that scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair for the first time. Just, you know, like less saliva and more bullets. And this whole thing is on. Foxy tries to escape on his own, but Mad Dog himself shows up to give him very precise surgery on his neck with a knife. And you thought Dr. Kevorkian's clients didn't last long. Anyhow, now we got some shots of tons of innocent babies, and gee, I wonder if that will come into play at some point in the film. Action, suspense, screenwriting 101. So Alan and Tequila, they're gonna go full MacGyver and use their bullets to create their own entrance, complete with pyro. Suck it, WrestleMania. Mad Dog is there to meet him. He's been hanging around, and he holds his own in a 2-on-1 fight. Alan's gun, it goes off early, and that sucks. Not that I've ever had an issue with that. And now the hospital, it's evacuating people. We got more bazookas and automatic weapons than our heroes have hot dinners. Johnny Wang Wong here, he mocks the cops for the size of their pistols. You can cut the homoerotic sexual tension with the Midas touch that they were talking about earlier. Hostages are taken, including those poor innocent babies mentioned earlier. This is my shocked face. Now, this ain't the Book of Revelations, but the dead will rise as Alan and Tequila, they escape through the morgue like corpses projectiling out with guns. And ladies, you thought you brought your man to his knees before? You should see Toothpick Tequila out there slipping and sliding on his knees, shotgunning bad guys. And we got more squibs going on than a Paul Verhoeven flick. This whole sequence is highlighted by this one continuous shot. It's actually two shots cut together to look like a continuous take. It's where Toothpick Tequila and Undercover Alan, they make their way, blowing away bad guys down hallways. They get into an elevator. The crew then redid the set completely. They come back out. It's all prepared for more carnage and explosions as they're going out and down more hallways, coming across and disposing various henchmen and scumbags along the way. Let's just say that John Gun-Fu Woo walked in a mixture of, slow motion and real time, so films like The Raid and Dread could run. Then our good guys meet back up with Mad Dog. They're all playing The Floor is Hot Lava. They're taking turns jumping through glass windows as they try to jump around. They're all shooting at each other. I mean, there's more glass shattering here than in a trailer for an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And then Tequila, he's got that last baby that's needing to escape. He's got him in his hands. The bad guys are there, so hey, it's perfect time to start singing a sweet, soft lullaby. And he's all, there, little one. These little pieces of cotton will protect you from the hail of machine gun fire. Tequila's running down the hallway with these explosions going on behind him while he's holding a baby, mind you. And these explosions actually were singeing the back of Chow Yun-Fat's head and jacket for real. He actually cursed out Wu afterwards, while also adding, but did the shot look good? Now that's professionalism. Remember that next time you hear those stories about Bruce Willis whining over being paid only $1 million to sleepwalk his way through 3 days of work on The Expendables 3. So then Tequila leaps out of a window with a cable. He's holding the baby while more explosions are going off. I mean, it makes the Nakatomi Plaza explosions look like the parade from Jingle All the Way. Suck it, Bruce Willis. But we're not done yet. Just like the brother out of the building in Die Hard, we got Johnny Wang Wong with Alan as his hostage. And Johnny's gonna add on a whole nother Freudian level of fragile masculinity to this sequence as he makes Tequila Chow slap himself in the face proclaiming, "I am impotent. I am impotent. Let me just say, I'm just waiting for someone to clip this and make me an idiot meme. But then it's eye for eye. Tequila's like, hey, you want to see a magic trick? And he blasts Johnny right through the eye, exploding it like Amber Heard, puncturing Johnny Depp's career. Now let's get to those Schlockers. Best way to deplete your budget using toothpicks and blood squibs. We get the Doc Holliday Award for Best Use of Two Guns, Best Use of a Baby in a Suspense Sequence, Suck It Baby's Day Out, Best Use of the Starburst Flavor Coloring System for a Bad Guy Sports Coats collection, Best Violent Use of a Staircase since Kevin McAllister used some paint buckets on the Wet Bandits, Best Cut Plotline for the Romance of Tequila and Mother Teresa, no one wants to see that crap in an action flick, and Best LASIK Surgery to a bad guy's eye. On my Winona Ryder's face is a walking emoji generator scale of Schlock cinema. It's easy for me to give Hard Boiled 5 Winonas. Now I also rate his next film, Hard Target, which I, like I said, did during the Van Damme Apocalypse. I also rated it 5 Winonas. I'm gonna have to do some bad woo too, but as it stands, Hard Boiled comes highly recommended.
HawkSchlock.